on fire to the studio mics. Tune in weekly, we're dropping the spikes. Analyzing every punch, every kick that lands. Maniacs in the game, playing with fans' demands. Ken's got the insight, Joe's got the flair. Mapping out the fights, we'll take you anywhere. So grab your popcorn, buckle up tight.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's up? What's up? Back again, MMAniacs Podcast. Joined as always by Bare Knuckle Ken, the Packer fan. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Yeah, dude. So I was just telling Ken before we came live that we were doing this drill, like live sparring, passing and guard retention drill, and I hit this super clean lasso sweep. I was super juiced. But something happened today. Like, I'm gonna share it just because it was exciting for me. Like, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I've told you before, I train with this guy. He's a former D1 wrestler, you know, and this guy, he fucks me up pretty regularly, dude. So I guess like his washing machine ate his stripe on his belt, or it came off like at some point. So in the morning when we come in for class, we run for the first 3 minutes. We run, right? And so this morning, like, professor tells me, like, because I let this dude go ahead of me because we're the same rank, you know, so it doesn't matter which one of us goes first. But professor's like, no, Joe, like, you go in front, right? So I'm like, okay. But I even made a point to be like, oh, I think Daniel's washing machine demoted him, right? And everybody kind of laughed. And then so I didn't think anything of it. Like, you know, professor obviously knows this guy is a one stripe and I'm a one stripe. But then at the end of class, like after class, we line up and we bow out and we line up according to rank. So generally, like, I kind of let him go ahead of me because, you know, he fucks me up. Like, so it's like, if we're the same rank, I'm like, you know, it's like the pecking order kind of, you know. I don't have a problem letting this dude go up, you know. But professor again was like, and he like whistled and like pointed to me like, hey, go ahead of him, you know. So I was like, okay. Like, obviously, you know, professor knows, he's sharp. He knows that this dude is the same rank as me, you know what I mean? So it kind of, I mean, what does that mean to you? Like, you know, it kind of, especially knowing that we have promotion in 2 days, like, it kind of leads me to believe that I might be outranking this dude, like, in a couple days, you know?
There's a very good chance of that, but it could also be him trying to get under his skin a little bit for allowing his stripe to get removed.
I don't think so, because people replace stripes all the time.
Okay.
Like,
then yeah,
you know, the stripes come off in the washing machine, and guys will come in and like before class, and they'll just put the stripes back on their belt. The professor has a roll of tape in the corner that people just go over there and they put their stripes back on. So
then
I understand why you would say that.
Then I gotta say promotion.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, dude. It kind of made me think that this promotion for me is going to be significant. Like, I dare not stare into the sun, and you know what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not gonna go there, but like it leads me to believe that I'm gonna probably outrank this dude, and he's been there for a year now, so he should be coming up on his second stripe. Like, I don't see any reason. He trains a lot. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be getting his second stripe. So it's like, am I going to get my second and my third? Who knows? Like, you know. And when I say I dare not stare into the sun, I mean, like, you know, blue belt. Like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Like, but oh man, what a surprise that would be, because professor doesn't tell you what you're getting. You know, it's all surprise. I will tell you this though. If by some miracle I did get my blue belt, I would probably cry like a bitch in front of the whole class, dude. I would probably I would cry, dude. Like not like sobbing,
No, I get what you
you
mean.
know. I would tear up a little bit though, because I put a lot into this shit, dude. Like a lot of pain, a lot of hours, and a lot of sweat, and a lot of getting my ass kicked, and you know. So yeah, but either way, it led me to believe like that my promotion might be significant, dude. And so if I get 2 stripes, even, I mean, I'm super happy with that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not trying to jump the gun or anything. Like my professor, his philosophy is the belt calls the fighter doesn't call the belt.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, when you're ready for the belt will call you, you know. So but anyway, yeah, just some personal news like for me to be excited about.
Oh, fuck
You know,
yeah, that's fucking awesome.
yeah, dude, it made me feel. I hope I'm not tripping, you know. And it's like literally, he's just like, oh, he just didn't have his stripe on, so he can't be like, you know, like, oh, you didn't put the stripe on, you don't get to get in line like in your normal spot, you know, because that would be disappointing. But I don't know. But we had a big card this weekend. And you know, speaking of my professor, right? Like my professor cards, dude, just like I do, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
And so with what happened to Pantoja, like I walked in on Monday and I was like, Professor, you see the fights this weekend? Because that's how I bring up the subject with him. I know he watched the fights, but that's how I broached the subject. Like, hey, Professor, you watched the fights this weekend? He's like, yeah. I was like, man, Pantoja. And he was like, and I was like, bro, side fall. And he was like, because, you know, Professor, he was like, see, you know, it was basically like, see, you're a white belt and you know, like, well, I teach this shit all the time. Like, that was basically what he said. He's like, dude, he's like, you see why I teach this, you know? He's like, if he just accepted the takedown, and, you know, because it wasn't even really a takedown. The dude just Joshua Van just lifted his leg when he caught the head kick, right? He's like, if he would have just went down on his side fall, right? It's like he'd still be in the fight. Now, because he decided to put his arm down, lost the fight, lost the belt, lost all the money that goes with the belt. He's going to be out for who knows how long. Because did you see his arm, dude?
Oh, fuck yeah. I watched that some bitch come completely unhinged and pop to the fucking right by like 3-4 inches.
Dude, like when he plants that arm, oh my God, dude, that was gruesome, dude.
Oh yeah.
How he didn't break it is like they're saying that it's a dislocated. The thing that's crazy though is they're saying that it's a dislocated shoulder, right?
What?
That's what they're saying, that it's a dislocated shoulder that. But explain to me how his elbow looked like a fucking nuclear bomb went off on it, right?
You can see the two distinct fucking pieces of his fucking arm. How is that not a dislocation?
Yeah, and not just that, but did you see his elbow? Like when he was, so after he hits the ground, and then he's on his back and he's holding his left arm to his side. The elbow was still out. You could see it, right? The elbow was like his arm looked deformed, and the elbow was still out, but the shoulder. It's crazy. I know we could have started with, you know, earlier in the card, but I just feel like that's kind of, there's other big news, but that news is kind of huge. Especially, I feel really bad for Pantoja because surprisingly, I know the fight, it only lasted like 45 seconds or something, but he was getting the better of the striking with Joshua Van. I was very impressed with Pantoja's striking. He landed some decent shots early. He was making Joshua Van miss. Stop what?
I'm assuming talking about the exploded elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Fred. This and here's the thing so my professor was like, he's like, I like Pantoja. He's like, Pantoja's jujitsu is really good. He's like, this is white belt shit. Like he of all people should understand like the side fall. And for him not to use it, it cost him everything. And he was like, so all week in every class, the kids class, the adult class, professor has been like, side fall. Remember, guys, you just got to see this weekend why we don't put our arm down when we get taken down. Like, that's what happens. Remember the side fall. This is white belt stuff. This is week 1 stuff, dude. Like, we do this every single day in training. Like, we have a drill where we practice side fall. So I don't know. Maybe Pantoja's gym doesn't do side falls. Like, they don't practice it like that. But I bet you he does going forward. I bet you he's gonna be working on side falls from now on. But
that shit costs you a couple of million, and it's a damn good teacher,
dude. It probably did. Like, you think about the run he was on, he has to be making $500,000 a fight as the champion, plus pay-per-view points if he gets them. Like, I mean, there really wasn't anybody that was there really wasn't anybody beating him, man. So yeah, it potentially cost him $1 million or $2 million, and we don't know how much it actually cost him, because who knows when he would have lost. Like, he lost out on all those big paychecks for title defenses. So I do anticipate that he'll get an immediate rematch, like after he's ready to go, but there's no way that he's going to be ready in 6 months to fight, dude. Like, he might be like just getting over the injury in 6 months, but then he's got to go and like start working physical therapy, training it, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like a shoulder dislocation is only generally a few weeks, but that was a bad one. It was a bad. Ugh. And they're saying his arm isn't broken, which to me is crazy, because it definitely looked broken.
I don't think it was broken. I think the elbow massively dislocated, but that's what I thought it was just the elbow. But if it's the elbow and the shoulder, that's going to be real fucked up, because you might have a lot of ligament damage with something like that too.
Actually, they're saying even the elbow wasn't dislocated. They're saying it's just the shoulder, which it makes no sense. I think, but keep in mind, this is what they were saying the night of, right? So now Pantoja has had time to go to the doctor, and they, now I haven't heard anything since then about his injury. Can you Google it real quick and pull it up? See what they're saying now about his injury. But what I did hear is at the post-fight press conference, Dana White said that they asked him, is Pantoja going to get an immediate rematch? And he said, how's he going to get an immediate rematch? He's like, his shoulder is fucked. Like, he's going to be out for who knows how long. And then, so yeah, it seems that Joshua Van is going to have a title defense against somebody else other than Pantoja, and then eventually, like, they'll work their way back to that fight. But props to. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is it's labeled as an elbow, not a shoulder.
See, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because the whole UFC post-fight show, they were talking about how it was a shoulder. But it's like they're telling us to not believe our lying eyes, because we all saw that elbow, bro. Like I thought, okay, if it's a shoulder too, that's even worse. But there's no way that it wasn't the elbow, because we all saw it. That elbow was massively fucked. So yeah, there were some good fights on the card. I thought that the Brandon Moreno fight got stopped a little early. If I'm being honest, Tyra is a really good fighter, and I'm kind of torn on that one. Number one, because I'm kind of a Brandon Moreno. I'm kind of a Brandon Moreno homer. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing is now I found another one that's claiming that it's the shoulder too.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's all over the fucking place.
Yeah, let's just say his arm got hit by a truck. His arm is fucked.
His arm is. Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say. His arm's fucked. That's
His
what
arm's
it is.
fucked. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna miss the White House card for sure. But so going backwards a fight, you saw the Tyra versus Brandon Moreno fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I what did you think about that stoppage?
Okay, that's the one that had the weird stoppage there.
Where he had his back and he was landing shots from the top.
Yeah, but the guy
shots weren't really damaging him at all.
Yeah, and the guy was still working his way backwards, pretty much exactly what you're supposed to do in that situation. I definitely think that one was stopped way too premature. Now, granted, do I think that it still would have had the same outcome regardless? Yes, but I think that was a premature stoppage, and we've seen Dana White chastise these referees before, and I'm pretty sure he's fired a couple for that type of shit, right?
Yeah, more for late stoppages than early stoppages because they always try to err on the side of caution and protecting the fighter. And you bring up a very valid point. Like, would the outcome have been different if the referee had let it go? It's very hard to say. What I mean by very hard to say is it's very hard to envision Brandon Moreno getting out of that position. Like, and he took probably somewhere between 11 to 15 unanswered shots. They didn't appear to be doing a whole lot of damage, but how many shots is enough, right? Like, you don't want to get the fight stopped. Don't get your back taken and get shots rained down on you. Like, it's Brandon Moreno's fault 100%. And he knows that. Brandon Moreno's a professional. He understands that, I put myself in a bad position. I can't bitch about the outcome. I can't bitch about the stoppage. Even though he did try to protest, like not formally, but just when the ref stopped it, he looked up at him and the first thing he said was, "Really?
Really? Yep.
Really?"
Yep.
Like, he's like looking at him like, "Really?" And you have to. I felt gutted for Brandon Moreno because he's lost a lot of close fights recently, man. Go ahead.
Do you wonder if what happened in the prelims kind of led to that fight being stopped early? Because we saw a fight in the prelims that it was one of those, all right, are you going to stop it type of things.
It's possible. It's definitely possible that some conversations were had with the referees, like, "Hey, we don't need anybody dying in the ring here tonight." So
yeah, because it was pretty egregious. Now, I don't remember what fight it was. I think it was the second to last one, but dude, you want to talk about, okay, the guy's out, he's done. No. And even the fighter was looking at the ref like, do I really got to keep hitting this guy?
Yeah. Well, I would definitely rather have an early stoppage than a late one. These fighters put their lives on the line already as it is. The incompetence of a referee can cost a guy his career or possibly even his life or brain damage. Like, yeah. So, Brandon Moreno will be back. I mean, he's only 31. He's got time, but he's an old 31 though. I mean, he's got over 40 fights. I think he's got a lot of fights, a lot of mileage. And he's had a really bad run lately where it's like he's lost a couple of split decisions, like very close split decisions. And then now he gets this stoppage, which, it's a questionable stoppage, but at the end of the day, you can't really complain too much because he's in a position that he's likely not going to get out of, and he's taking unanswered shots. The rules are the rules. Like, I don't think the ref was egregious in the stoppage. I just was disappointed for Moreno because, like you said, he was intelligently defending. He was doing as much as you can intelligently defend from that position. Like, he didn't look like rocked or hurt to me. like it was just more like pinned. It was like he was pinned, he was trapped, and he's taking these shots that aren't really hurting him, but whatever. Brandon will be back, I hope, stronger and better. But then we get into that Pantoja fight, and Joshua Van. I mean, the fight ended so early that we don't really know what we saw, right? But what we did. Go ahead.
At first, what it looked like, because these were both very aggressive fighters, and it seemed that Joshua Van could not match the aggressiveness of Pantoja. But again, such a small sample size, you don't really fucking know. It might have been like a cold water to the face type of thing of, oh shit, okay, let's go type of thing.
And eventually he settles in, right?
Yeah.
I see. I think that I definitely agree with you. Ewo versus Ebo was a slugfest. Yeah, I didn't get it. Was that on the prelims?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the prelim fights there.
I didn't get to see the prelim fights, unfortunately. But yeah, so with Pantoja, though, I think that was his strategy, was to come out and put Joshua Van on the back foot right away, right? Like not let Joshua Van dictate the pace of the striking. Pantoja came out ultra aggressive, dude. He was swinging for the fences. He threw that big head kick, and the head kick partially landed, but then Van caught it and pulled up on his leg to try to get him down. And then we had the unfortunate injury. So, I'm sure we'll see that fight again at some point, and we'll get to see what we wanted to see to begin with.
That's also if Van doesn't happen to lose the title in the meantime. Now, granted, I do like Van. I'm a huge fan of his, and I think he's got a damn good chance after what we saw him do his last fight. But there's still that question that's going to be up in the air. Does Pantoja get an automatic rematch no matter who the champion is, or does it have to be Van?
I think it's a very good question, and I feel like Pantoja's dominant enough that he deserves an immediate rematch with an immediate title shot. If Van should lose the title, he deserves it with whoever's the champ, because if the odds are when Van defends the title, if Van loses, it's going to be to a guy that Pantoja has already defended against and beat. So, like, I definitely feel like Pantoja should get an immediate shot when he returns. For Van, though, you hate to win the title this way, because to a lot of people, it's going to look illegitimate. But you know what? These guys are professionals, man, and you fight your whole career. Like, your dream is to be the champ. So don't let anybody get you down. Like, you fought your ass off to get to this position. Shit happens. It's fighting, dude.
It came out to you did what you were supposed to do, and he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
And so if I'm Van, it's like you feel bad for Pantoja, and you kind of feel bad for yourself in the way that, like, you really wanted to earn that title and fight and beat him, show that you were better than him, right? But if I'm Van,
at the same time, it's not Van's fault that happened. So
right, and that's what I'm trying to say is like, tell somebody, Van needs to don't feel illegitimate because of it, dude. Like, fighters work their whole careers to get to the point where you're at now. Take advantage of it, dude, because now you're going to start making real money, and there's no guarantees that you're going to get back to it once your run is over. Like, it looks good for Van because Van's very young. He's only I think he's in his early 20s. So he's got a whole career ahead of him, dude. And he doesn't have a lot of fights. He's got I think he's 15-1 or 16-1 or something like that. Maybe 16-2. Can you pull up Joshua Van's record? Like, he's got 20 fights.
Yeah, he's 16-2.
16-2. So he's got less than 20 fights. And what's his age?
24.
So realistically, he's got 10 years of fighting left in him, dude. before you even have to start thinking about hanging it up, right? So he's got another 20 fights in him if he wants to go that long. So even if he is to lose the title in his first defense, he's got plenty of time to work his way back up. And generally, fighters hit their prime right around that 30 mark. Like they're maybe not in their physical prime, but they seem to hit the peak of their career right around 30. Where they're the best ever be, their mind, like the experience and everything like that. They've nailed down how to cut weight, how to train, how to run their training camps, the experience built up over the course of their career. Like they seem to really hit their stride at that point. A lot. If you look back at the champions, a lot of them won the title around the age of 30. So Joshua Van's got a bright future. And I, if I'm him, don't feel illegitimate about it, dude. Like you did what you had to do. And, yeah, it sucks that it ended the way it did, but it ended in your favor. So take it and run with it and shut the fuck up. And I mean that in the nicest way possible, but like don't feed into the illegitimacy hype, right? It's like, just kill it. Just stop talking about it and move on to the next fight. And then when Pantoja is back, come and line it up again. Because that's a fantastic fight. I really look forward to seeing that fight when Pantoja is healthy. Now for the main event, see, Ken's had some personal issues, some family issues over the last couple of weeks, so we didn't really get into this fight. Other than one time we kind of talked about it. But do you remember what I said about Petr Yan and that when we broke down that fight? What did I say?
Yeah, it was a close one the first time. Don't be surprised pretty much if he sneaks it out.
I said Petr Yan is a live dog in this fight, dude. Like his boxing is fantastic. What I didn't say and what really surprised me was his takedown defense. Like I knew he had some, but I didn't know that he was going to be the guy that could break the Merab code, dude. That could like break the Merab puzzle. Because I mean, let's be honest, dude. I mean, at least how I saw it, Petr Yan beat the shit out of Merab, dude.
Oh, see, I didn't see it like that. I thought that one was a close fight.
Did you?
Yeah, because there were a few times that Merab had him just about finished with a submission, and Petr Yan was able to get out of it. And to me, it seemed like that was one of those that I could watch and say, whoever they announce as the winner, I wouldn't be mad either way.
Damn, so for you, that was a 50-50 fight, huh?
Mm-hmm. Because I was going to, Merab was able to implement his game plan. Petr Yan was able to implement his game plan. They both did very well in it of what I thought.
Man, see, I had that fight 4-1 for Petr Yan.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. The only round I gave Merab was round 2. He landed some shots in round 1, and but I thought Petr Yan, those body kicks, like they hurt the fuck out of Merab. And there was one, he literally yelped. Did you see that shit? Like
I didn't know.
I with a body kick, and you can hear Merab. If you go back and watch it, you can hear Merab go, ah! Like, not that I blame him, dude. Like, he probably has some broken ribs because of that shit.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Oh
man,
I know why that was that I wasn't able to hear it, because my my internet decided to go out literally right before the main event.
Oh.
Luckily, I had my buddy that we were having a watch party and shit with it, and he would flipped his camera around because I had just enough cell phone service to be able to watch it.
Oh man, yeah, it was, dude. That fight was, it was a masterclass by Petr Yan, dude, and it really, like, I mean, the question now becomes, Does Marab deserve an immediate rematch?
See, to me, I thought that was evident right off the bat. You got to give this one a rubber match. They've both won a decision against each other. Now let's see who gets that tiebreaker, and or is see if one of the guys can finish the other. But I
Mhm.
do think, speaking of that, I do think that was part of Marab's issue with this fight, is he went into it looking to finish him more than you usually do, type of thing. He had said that he wants to finish him since the last time it was a decision, so that might have played a role into it to where he was getting a little too wily.
Yeah, and I mean, he kind of said as much in his post fight interview. He said, I really wanted to try to entertain the fans and make this a really good fight, which leads, it's basically him saying like, I didn't fight my fight because I wanted to make it entertaining. Um, see, it's one of those things like I want to give Marab the benefit of the doubt because Marab is an animal and he's a stand up guy. He's an honest guy. He's a champion, and he has the integrity. He respects everyone. So I don't see him as the kind of guy to make shitty excuses for why he lost.
That's exactly it. I don't think you're going to get that out of Marab. So if he's saying that, there's got to be some type of validity.
Yeah, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but it does sound like an excuse. But we also, a lot of people said when Alex said, "Oh, I lost to Ankalaev because I wasn't 100%." Like I was in that fight like 40%. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that sounds like an excuse," and he came out and he fucking proved it in that fight. Like,
and that's exactly why I'm like that with Marab, because that's what I thought it was with Alex, was just an excuse. He showed that most certainly wasn't an excuse. So that's why I'm kind of leaning that way there a bit with Marab.
Yeah, and I'm giving Marab the benefit of the doubt as well. I'm saying like let him fight again, let him get the rubber match, and if Marab's style, if he goes back to the Marab that we know for that next fight and he wins, okay, then I'll say all right, maybe there was some validity to that, but he's going to have to prove it,
Yep.
like, because if he goes in there again and he tries to fight Marab's fight, but Piotr Jan just beats him again, then to me, it's like, no, Piotr Jan is just better.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Piotr Jan, when it's all said and done, that guy's going to be a Hall of Famer, man. He's a 2-time champion. He might be the most dangerous. I know you're not going to agree because you love Ilia Topuria, but Piotr Jan might be the best technical boxer in MMA. Like, if you watch, I know I can see it, but go back and watch Piotr Jan. Watch 5 or 6 of his fights.
Okay.
And do that before you make a decision. If you still believe Ilya is better after that, okay. Like, I said he might be, not he is the best technical boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I think it's definitely close.
For the next show.
Yeah. Well, go back and watch 5 or 6 of Piotr Jan's fights, dude. He's a very, very technically sound boxer. He's well-rounded all over. He's got great wrestling defense, like takedown defense. Yeah, he's a world-class fighter, man. And he's just had kind of a bad string. He got that fight with O'Malley where, probably 70 to 80% of the media felt Piotr Jan should have won, but the UFC was, they were just itching to put that belt on O'Malley, however they had to do it. And so, they managed to do that. He lost his belt when he kneed Aljo. Remember when he kneed Aljamain Sterling in the face when he was down? He lost the belt on a DQ.
Was that the one where his knee was just barely touching?
No, Aljo was down. He was a down fighter.
Okay.
And no, that one was egregious, dude. That one was like there's no way that you're the champion and you don't know the rules. No. He thought he was going to get away with one. He thought, like, I'll get a warning, maybe a point taken away, but he's going to be compromised for the rest of the fight. Like, he blasted him, dude. And, Aljo, being smart, was like, no, I can't continue. He wins the title on a DQ. And then it was sort of like the Pantoja thing. Like, people were like, oh, Aljo's not a legitimate champion, blah, blah, blah. But then Aljo went on to have like 3 or 4 title defenses, and he beat Piotr Jan. They had a rematch, and he beat Piotr Jan by decision. So it was like Aljo all of a sudden became a legitimate champion at bantamweight. And, it was like, it's kind of hard to call him a fluke champion when he defended the belt against some of the top guys. Then he lost to O'Malley, and he moved up, and then Merab came in and took care of business. So now, back to that question at hand. Does Merab deserve an immediate rematch with Piotr Jan, or do you think that Merab should take some time off, at least 6 months, and then come back? Maybe let Piotr Jan fight somebody else first?
I was going to say that actually might not be too bad of an idea, because part of the issue could have been this was Merab's 4th title defense in a year.
Yeah, I
Let
agree.
your body have some recovery time.
This is exactly. I'm glad you see it that way too, dude. Because that was my thing. Is like you cannot knock Merab for daring to be great, right? Like he was trying to do something that nobody's ever done before, to defend a title 4 times in a calendar year. When we have guys like John Jones who defend a title once in 3 years, and then in that against the corpse of Stipe, right? And then, like, we have a guy like Merab who's like, no, I'm taking on all comers, dude. I don't give a fuck who it is. Like, I'm gonna defend the title 4 times in a year. It's ballsy as hell, and it's great for the UFC and great for the fans, but you gotta figure 4 training camps, 4 weight cuts in a calendar year. It's got to take a toll on the body, man.
Yep. Absolutely, and that's the point I was getting at. Those weight cuts are brutal. I don't care if you're staying in relative shape, you're still cutting weight to make that scale. That shit, it takes a hell of a lot out of not just you, but your internal organs.
That's the real key there. That's the real key there, is you're stripping your body of so much moisture. Like, so much, you're shedding so much water that you're getting to the point of kidney failure, dude. That shit when you're pushing your body literally to the brink of death to make weight, that can't be good when you do that over and over and over again. So yeah, I don't knock Merab for losing. I definitely, honestly, I'm surprised that he didn't go that route as far as talking about, dude, 4 weight cuts, 4 training camps in a single year. Like, I'm surprised he didn't take that route, because he could, when they ask you, like, why was Piotr Jan better on this night? He easily could have said, well, I tried to be great. Like, I tried to do something no one's ever done before, and my body just didn't respond the way I needed it to. And it would have been a completely legitimate reason or excuse, right? It's still an excuse, but it's like, it would have been completely legitimate, right? But he didn't do that. He said, nah, I tried to fight an entertaining fight. I tried to, wow the fans. And so
that leads more credence to that being the real reason. That if he's not going to put it on the 4 fights there, something that, like you just said, is a legitimate excuse that nobody's ever done it. So, nobody's going to knock you for that. But for him to say and hang his hat on that it was, I didn't fight my fight and I was trying to entertain the fans. And like I had said about him talking about before the fight, he wanted to finish it since the last one went to a decision. I think that played a massive role.
Well, we're going to find out, because, I hope not too soon. I think this is a fight that you don't have to run you don't have to run it back right away. Like I would like to see Marab take 6 months off. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I could understand them wanting to put it on the White House card though. Like I could understand that, but I feel like it would not be smart for Marab to go after this fight, go straight into another training camp. And I just feel like, bro, take your body right, heal up, and then start your training camp. Like let Piotr Jan get a defense in, and
Yeah, I don't know.
Marab.
Rob, yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know how much weight he cuts, but they all cut weight. It's just a matter of how much. Like nobody fights at their natural walking around weight, unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. So, yeah, we'll see, man. I would like to see Marab take some time off, but that's the thing about Marab. Marab seems like the kind of guy who can't take time off, who can't sit still. So I imagine he's probably in the
How
gym as we speak.
how many times have we said Marab's a machine? This would go to further that point.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Marab is already back in training. He's already watching tape of like what he did wrong, and he's already working on it. I'm not against them putting it on the White House card. Like I think that the rubber match, I think it has real GOAT implications as far as bantamweight GOAT. I think it has bantamweight GOAT implications. Whoever wins the rubber match and wins, there's a lot on the line there. You know what I mean? You got not only the rubber match between Piotr Jan and Marab, but you also have the belt on the line, right? Whoever wins that fight, Piotr Jan is a 2-time champ. Marab would be going to be a 2-time champ.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting legacy fight, So yeah, we'll see. But we talked about all that. I wanted to get to this before we run out of time. Yeah, exactly. 4 times a year is insane, dude. I want to get to this before the show ends. So it's been officially announced. We thought that Topuria was going to be fighting Patty, but Topuria has had some family issues. I don't really want to put his personal business out there, even though the media has already done that. But you can, if you're a nosy Nancy, you can go and look it up for yourself. But he's having some family issues, and so he decided to take some time away. He didn't give up the belt, but he just let them know that he's going to be away for a few months. So they booked an interim title fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I saw that was booked, but I didn't hear all the backstory with it.
Yeah, well, it's bro, it's gonna be amazing. Like that fight has barn burner fight of the fucking year written all over it, doesn't it? Like,
mm-hmm. And yeah,
it's such an interesting stylistic matchup. I'm gonna get to you, Ken. Like, because I want you go ahead and give your breakdown first. But isn't it just such a fascinating stylistic matchup?
Oh, absolutely. Shit. Both of them are pretty damn good on their feet. Like Pimlet, I'm not going to say he's world class on his feet by any means, but Gaethje, we've seen him time and time again outstrike a hell of a lot of fucking people. And with Paddy having the jiu-jitsu that he does, I have to give him the advantage on the ground because most of the Gaethje fights I've seen, yeah, he's gone to the ground a few times, but most of the time I see him standing and baiting. So I don't know the full extent of his ground game for me to say, oh, yeah, oh, you're close or this or that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. If Gaethje is going to win this fight, he's going to drag him into the deep water on the feet, and he's going to finish him. It's going to be a spectacular kind of stand-up performance for Gaethje if he's going to win. if Pimblett's going to win, it's you have to withstand the Gaethje tornado, right? You have to be able to withstand those shots, get it to the ground, and strangle him. Because I absolutely agree with you. I think Patty has a huge advantage when it comes to the jiu-jitsu. I think Gaethje would be lost on the ground with Patty. Like Patty is that good. But it's going to be can he not get knocked out and get that fight to the ground?
Well, remember, he's part of that tribe of Irishmen that just can't get knocked out.
Englishman. He sounds right. That's the crazy part is like, you think that Patty's Irish the way he talks because his accent is so thick, right? But no, he's actually from Britain. He might actually be Irish, but
no,
like by nationality, I mean, he might actually be like.
That's what I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's that he was born in Welsh or whatever, somewhere there, but his nationality is Irish.
Yeah, you can look that up if you want. But like, I think by ethnicity, like his genetics, like he's Irish, but he grew up in England. But I could be wrong. But that band of people that don't get knocked out, they're called the Scousers. That's their name, Scousers. Yeah, I'll just wait and let's see what he is.
Okay. Okay. It doesn't say if he's actually Irish or not. It says there some of the details aren't specific, but he pretty much identifies with the English part of his roots.
Which means he's probably a mixed
That's
English
what
and
I'm
Irish, and he considers himself an Englishman.
Mm-hmm.
A Scouser or whatever. But either way, dude, did you see? So Ilya ran into, or I don't know if you can really call it ran into, because I think he went to where Patty was on purpose with a gang of his buddies, and he took a swing on Patty in a public, it was like a jewelry store or something like that, or a store of some kind. Like he took a swing on Patty, and like he had a bunch of his boys with him. Now, I feel like you and I are going to feel two completely different ways about this. So I'll get your opinion first. Did you see the video?
No, I did not see the video.
Oh, dude, pull it up on YouTube. Yeah, it's like Ilya goes and there's a crowd of guys between them, and then Ilya takes a swing on him. And I mean, I don't know if he connected or not, but yeah, dude, I wasn't a fan of it personally because he brought all his boys with him, and it's like Patty was by himself.
Oh, he was by himself?
Yeah.
Ugh. That brings another element to it.
Yeah, it was kind of big. In my opinion, I don't know how many of Patty's boys were there. Like it looked like the whole gang that was there was Ilya's boys, but I can't be 100% sure. But either way, it was kind of like it struck me as kind of bitch shit, to be honest with you. Like I'm gonna show up with all my boys to try to punk this guy, and Patty didn't get punked. Like he was like he didn't get punked, but he did get swung on though. So now that you've seen the video, what is your opinion on that?
My opinion is I'm hoping some of the people that were holding Pimlet back were friends of Pimlet's, because if not, that's not a good look. If it's Okay, you got your buddies, I got my buddies, whatever. That one I call a wash. You know, it's two people that hate each other. I've seen that time and time again. But if you just showed up with your crew and hey, we're just gonna freaking curb stomp you to death, that's a whole
Or
nother
it's like
can of
we're
worms.
gonna show up, we're gonna let Ilya take a swing on you, and then when you try to get in, like we're gonna hold you back. Like so, it's like we're basically giving Ilya a free one. Like, yeah, that to me, that was like
Oh,
that was kind of like. And I like Ilya. I wouldn't call myself an Ilya fan because I'm not a bandwagon guy, right? I wasn't rocking with him from the beginning, so I don't want to jump on his bandwagon now. You know what I mean? I respect him. I think he's a great fighter. But you've been rocking with Ilya for a while now, so like you can consider yourself an Ilya fan. But that would be like if all of a sudden I'm like, hey, all of a sudden I like the Green Bay Packers. You're gonna be like, but aren't you a Raider fan? You know, like no,
no,
I just
it'll be. I figured you smartened up and came to your senses.
no, dude. I'm. It's just like jujitsu, bro. Like, I'm lightweight regarded in that category. You know, I'm not giving up on it, even if no matter how much it hurts. Like, there's actually a surprising number of similarities between being a Raider fan and training jujitsu. You know, get your heart broken and sometimes something else. But yeah, dude. So I don't know, man. But that either way, does that change how you view this Gaethje versus Patty fight?
That I hope, beg, and pray that Patty wins this fight, because if he becomes the interim champion, you got to assume that's just going to add extra fuel to the fire of getting him and Ilya to fight in a ring.
Well,
And that-
he'll automatically be the next challenger. If he's the interim champ, they have to unify those belts, and which is what they're going for. And it's do you buy the beef?
Yes.
Like, you think the beef is legitimate?
Yeah.
It's not just they're trying to build it up.
I do not think so. I think these two people hate each other. I have seen them engage multiple times. Now, if it's not, you got to get these some bitches some Academy Awards, because that's some damn good acting.
These motherfuckers know how to sell a fight, right?
Like, shit, they should be teaching classes on this shit at that point.
They should be like going and teaching seminars together on how to sell fights, right? If they don't really hate each other. This is I agree. I think the beef here is real. I think they really don't like each other. And here's my thing. I think that after the fight, no matter who wins, I don't think these guys are shaking hands and going like, oh, I totally respect it now. Like we got it all out in the ring. Like I could see this being a rivalry.
Yep, I'm 100% with you. Now, maybe I could see them shaking hands real quick. Almost getting freaking Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur type of handshake, where it's, okay, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I could see them dapping up, like touching gloves or whatever. But what I mean is like where all the beef gets squashed and it's like, oh, we had beef, we worked it out. Like whoever wins, and like it's over from here on out. I don't see that being the case. I think no matter who wins that fight, the other one is going to be salty. And I especially if Patty loses. I could see Patty doing whatever he has to do to get back to a title shot until he wins. Like Ilya might have to beat him 4 or 5 times, dude. Like, because Patty is like, he will refuse to lose to anyone else, just so that doesn't Patty seem like that guy? Like, no matter how many times you beat this dude up, like he's gonna keep coming back until he gets his one. And once he gets his one, it's over.
Yep, I can see that. But Ilya also seems like that guy that I'm going to hit you so fucking hard you're not going to be able to come back.
Well, that's what makes it such an interesting fight. Like,
Mhm.
when you look at the tail of the tape, Patty has a significant height and reach advantage,
Mhm.
and he would be very wise to use every bit of that in that
Yep.
fight.
Oh, absolutely.
We've discussed it before. You know my breakdown on Patty's path to victory. We all know Ilya's path to victory, right?
Fight in a phone
Goes through
booth.
his hands. Fight in a phone
Mhm.
booth. He would be a fool to fight in a phone booth with Ilya, and I think he knows that. And
That's why I hope that this beef keeps going and they keep agitating each other more, because that's going to make Patty want to fight in a phone booth.
I call me crazy, but I see a lot of Conor McGregor in Patty, and it's not just the shit talk. Like his shit talk is top notch, but it's not just the shit talk.
Mhm.
Conor, what made Conor great was his mental game,
Yep.
right? Conor, he got inside people's heads, and it's not about getting him to fight your fight, like pissing him off to the point where he's going to fight your fight. It's the point of like Patty knows that Ilya wants to fight in a phone booth, right?
Mhm.
So Patty is going to talk all this shit. And then Patty, if he's smart, which I think he is, I think Patty is. See, people get the impression that Patty's like a stupid brawler or like a stupid, like
Mhm.
that he's not very intelligent, right? Like because of the way he talks, like he acts like he can be ignorant, but I don't
Mhm.
think that's a ploy. I think Patty is secretly one of those like evil geniuses, dude. Like he understands psychological warfare. And what I think is he's gonna piss. Can you imagine the press conferences for that fight? How wild those are gonna get? The level of shit talk that we're gonna get to enjoy between those two. Oh my god, dude, take my money. Sign me up now. But Patty's gonna sit there and talk so much shit, right? That Ilya is gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess he really does want to fight. And then Patty's gonna come in there and he's gonna play that distance game. And that's where that psychological warfare kicks in. Is like Ilya's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like you talked all that shit and now you don't even want to engage. And it's like
Mhm.
that. Imagine that, Ken. Imagine if a guy is sitting there just talking to you, talking to you, talking to you about how he's gonna beat your fucking ass. And then when it finally comes time to fight, this dude is sticking and moving, and you're not getting a chance to even get in there to touch him. Like, because he's just every time you get close, he's using that kick to keep you at a distance, right? How frustrated would you be?
Oh, massively. At that point, my exact thoughts would be, all right, stop fighting like a pussy, stand here like a man, and let's do this.
Right. Now we have to know Ilya is probably much more of a professional than that, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
do you think he falls for that trap? I don't know. I think
I
he's
was going
smart enough.
to. Is he smart enough? Yes. But unfortunately, that's the point where human emotions come into play, and emotions make us do really dumb shit.
And that, you see what I'm saying? This is why I said I think Patty is a master of the mind game.
Hmm. If
Because
that's if
he's
that's his
already
whole
pissed
point,
Ilya. Yeah, he's already pissed Ilya off to the point where Ilya took a swing on him in public, dude.
Mhm.
Like that is not smart thinking, right? That is emotion getting in the way, and we're not even to the fight yet.
We're not even anywhere near the fight.
So I just feel like, dude, this could be another McGregor Aldo moment. Although I don't think the fight will end that way. I think like Patty's gonna be laughing his British ass all the way to the bank with this one, dude. Like I could see that possibility. I'm not saying that he's gonna win. He'll definitely be the underdog, but oh yeah, it's time to go. Sorry guys, we'll get more into it. We got time. Gaethje and Patty are gonna fight, but thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep our fan base growing. We appreciate your time.